Wow, we must be in Humble Road country. This was a ghoulish place to stay. After 2 nights in the Humble Road parking lot and 1 night at a nearby campground, we were ready to head west. We learned a lot from George, Ron, and John as they put the finishing touches on our new van. And we even got to watch George and Patrick Botticelli of New Jersey Outdoor Adventures as Patrick filmed one of his van tours. But now we have 4 days to drive 2,700 miles to Spokane, Washington. I'll explain the rush at the end of the video. As we drive, I'll share aspects of the van and how it's working for us. You'll have to wait for George's professional and thorough tour for the complete walkthrough.
This is the manifold for your radiant heat in the floor.
And that's the Aqua Hot?
This is for the Aqua Hot. So your hot glycol comes from your air cooler, your air warmers. Then it comes into here and gets pumped back through your floor. Then it comes back to get reheated. And this has its own internal thermostats, its own pump, own check valves.
You love Tetris, don't you?
Yeah. Yeah, once you understand the principle of this thing, then it's a matter of getting it to fit the space without too many fittings.
Yeah. Playing Blue Moon on the manifold for the hot water.
That is for your floor. All of this is for the floor, the radiant heat in the floor.
Wow.
Yeah. Good. The radiant heat lines are glowing green.
Hot water.
There's Patrick's Beast. There's the famous Patrick.
This is Patrick from New Jersey's Outdoor Adventures YouTube channel. George is back on the channel, Humble Road. He's got a new build. This thing has big solar, big lithium, and you got to see how he handled the storage over to bed.
We have just left Humble Road and we had a great time there actually. I learned a lot, getting all this last minute stuff done, and I'll explain later in the video what's going on right now. But I had my first hack of the van, and I'll show it to you right now. This is an owl van cab shelf. I don't know what they call it. And I don't have a paper towel holder yet, so I ran a bungee cord around here and looped it through, and
in 2 miles, take exit 98.
I think you heard most of that before Siri interrupted me. And today, let's see, it is 3:30 in the afternoon on Monday, and we are going to drive as much as we can tonight, at least until dark, because we don't like to drive after dark. And we'll find a spot. I think there's a Walmart just east of Harrisburg, Pennsylvania. And I think we can stay there for the night, and then we'll get up at the break of dawn and keep driving west. Forgot where I am.
It could be we're having Grater's ice cream by noon tomorrow.
Oh yeah, John is now hooked on Grater's ice cream. Of course, I grew up on it, and now he says we are not going anywhere without Grater's ice cream when we go through Ohio. But I want to throw in a huge thank you to George and Ron and John. They worked all weekend long, Saturday, Sunday, to get everything finished up and show us all the ropes, and George introduced me to Levati's market. I wish we could have had more time to go back again to stock up, but I do have some kind of pasta dish in the refrigerator, so we'll have that maybe for dinner. Focus, there we go. Delaware River coming up. British. Welcome to Pennsylvania. think they call these travel plazas off the turnpikes. We're on the Pennsylvania Turnpike, 76, and heading toward kind of Columbus area because there's a Grater's Ice Cream. And we had another great night's sleep. This is I think our 4th night in the van, and we've just slept great in the van. No problems. John's filling out, but when he gets back, I'll ask him about the chassis and how he likes the drive. So today's video is not so much a tour as it is kind of, because I don't want to take away any thunder from George's video, but also I know you guys want to see some of the components. So it's going to be kind of a drive and show. And when we stop, I'll take maybe videos of different areas and talk about them, talk about some of the things that we will be doing when we get home, because there's obviously quite a few details that we will be finishing. So it's not going to be your normal, concise tour, because George really, he does a great job on that. We stayed at a Cracker Barrel last night. Pennsylvania doesn't really, they only allow 2 hours at a rest area. Also, just as a reminder, we are in the break-in period for the van. So the first 500 miles, and we've only done what? How many miles have we done?
288.
Okay, 288. So John's been kind of, slowing down and going faster, and this car talks a lot. I don't need the talking though. And I definitely don't need the backup beep. That's the first thing we need to figure out.
Anybody got a tip on that?
Yeah, do you have a tip? I've been reading online, but it's like everybody has a different idea. So if you know how to disconnect the backup beep on the 23 Transit, then let us know. Or by the time you see this, maybe we have figured it out.
It has a tow package though.
Yeah, it has a tow package. I think that's why we have it. It's because it has a tow package. And of course, I know that you guys are going to want to know what kind of mileage you're getting. Well,
awful.
It's awful. But that's also partly because it is in the break-in period. So, John, what are your initial observations between the Mercedes chassis and the Ford?
The Ford chassis is easier to handle, it's easier to manage, and it's a smoother ride. No doubt about that.
But how does it fit you?
It fits fine. I wish the seat would come back an extra inch, but that's not a deal breaker.
And what about the noise inside the van?
It's a lot quieter. It is, I would say it's a good 5 decibels quieter at least, maybe even more. What do you think?
Well, I'm wondering if some of that is just because of the build quality. We just don't have the rattles we had of the other rig. Not sure whether that was our stuff or what.
Give it 50,000 miles of dirt roads and see what this looks like.
Yeah, but we're not going on any dirt until we get the suspension upgraded. Oh yeah, this is... One thing I really appreciate about this front, and remember, we're comparing this to a 2017, no, it was a 2016 chassis on the Mercedes, and I'm sure it's been greatly improved. This thing has plenty of cup holders, which I really like. One there, there, 2 there, and then we got them on your side. And then we also, this time around, we added, of course we have a dash cam that was added, but we did the rear dash, the one that looks inside the cab toward the rear, and that's because TD Adventures and their saga with their refrigerator that jumped out of the cabinet, they got that video because they had that rear-facing camera. And we also have a camera on the rear of the rig, which is infinitely better than Mercedes. That Mercedes backup camera was the worst. It was worthless. So hopefully they've changed that in their new rigs, but who knows?
A shout out to TD Adventures. That was an epic film clip.
Yeah,
Epic.
it was.
Thinking about what we've been through. Where could be a lonely place?
John had this idea that if I cut up the bread and kind of fried it, and then these are vegetarian sausages, I just heating them up, and then poured in some beaten egg We're gonna see what it tastes like. That's what it looks like. Let's see what it tastes like. I think we have a winner. Way to go, John. I gotta figure out where my bowls are. One of the great things about this van is it has a 27-gallon gray water tank. That's a lot of gray water. And it has a 31-gallon fresh water. And I think our old one had 20 for the fresh, and I think it was 15 for the gray. So we've almost doubled the size of the gray water. I love this spray. It's kind of a fan-shaped spray. Of course, the sink is really deep. And of course, then we have the I don't know what it's called. AccuView water filter. You can see when you turn it on, the blue light goes down there. That's the UV. So it's a filter and a UV. Pretty cool. That was a good breakfast. It's going to be our new favorite scramble. Seriously, love this table. It's so nice. It's plenty big for both of us. And we don't, the swivels are not installed yet. We're going to have that done down at Agile. Look at that color, guys. Birdie. The bridge. It's the Ohio River. Welcome to Ohio.
Welcome to Ohio.
Looks like everybody walked away. That was a painful, at least 30-minute delay. And we still have almost 600 miles to go. We are getting off to get Grader's ice cream. When I was growing up in Cincinnati, that was just, the best place to go. But I still to this day think that they have the best ice cream in the world because they have these huge chocolate chunks in their ice cream. And we're going to get maybe 2 pints and test out our freezer, the new freezer, see if it's up to par.
Since we last filled up, we are averaging 17.3 miles per gallon.
Whoa.
That's pretty good stuff.
That's up from 10.
Up from 10. That's not
There
the
it
one we were
is.
before.
No, it isn't, but they got lots of parking. And it's open, just waiting for us. John said, I got to get a picture of this. I just realized what it says. Here's some ice cream. Let's get some ice cream. It is the best. You better not steal my ice cream.
You better not steal mine.
No way.
All right.
Well, I might have a bite. Loving this fridge because I took I put my thermometer in the freezer, and this would hold even more than 2, John. And when it was on level 3, so there are 5 levels. When it was on level 3, it was -2 degrees, and then I turned it down because other stuff was freezing. Turned it down to 2, and it's 9 degrees. Plenty hard enough for ice cream. I mean, that was the whole reason we got a custom-made van. Can you see the size of that chocolate chip? It is huge. Welcome to Indiana. Roads house.
Welcome to Illinois.
7:47, and we get to a camp spot in the next 30 minutes. We didn't make it to the Iowa truck stop. We fell short because of that accident in Ohio. It delayed us, but we found a state recreation area called Kickapoo, and I'm hoping they have a spot because we also need to fill up with water. Thank goodness George puts lights back here because we got to fill up with water. There's nobody here. The host was not around, so we're not sure what we're gonna do. But we'll figure something out. John asked me if we should put the filter on, and I said we don't need to because we have filtered water. Yay! It is 5:53 and we are leaving Urbana. Another Cracker Barrel. I took my first shower last night. It was great, lots of room, but I had one little issue. I put my shampoo here and it fell down there. So my arm couldn't reach the bottom. I tried my tongs. They didn't help. So when we stop at the Iowa truck stop, we're gonna see if they have any longer tongs or some kind of trash picker-upper. It's down there somewhere. But we'll get them out one way or the other. But the water was perfect. I love the nozzle. George switched it out for me because I prefer the kind you push on and off. You use less water, I think. The toilet sits on a cleat against the wall, so that keeps it from moving. And all I did was lift it up and put it out in the aisle. We did not end up plumbing it to the gray tank. It was too problematic, but I don't think it's going to be an issue at all.
There's the sign. Welcome to Iowa. There's state fairs with smaller signs.
Oh, I just finished my 3-hour stint of driving and take a break inside Iowa 80. My observations are that the mirrors are bigger, so I really like the bigger mirrors on this van. And the passenger side has a vanity mirror, which the Mercedes did not. But it's missing an armrest on the passenger seat, which seems a little odd. And the other thing we'll have to get is some more of those elbow friends, or I forgot what they called them. We bought them for the other van. Really like them, so I'll get a couple of those. And I love getting up and not having to make the bed. John's putting premium in it for at least the first 1,000 miles, although I think we've gone over 1,000 now probably. But I guess he read somewhere that's what you should do. I will be making a windshield cover and also the side screen that I made for the other van to help with the sun. I thought this was a really good idea. George printed this out for us. He measured the van before we left and puts it right there so we don't have to wonder how tall the van is. But after we get our suspension upgrade, we'll have to update that. I'm turning on the air conditioner while we're gone to see, just to see the power consumption compared to the solar, whatever. Oh, Jody sent me 2 pictures from his new phone. He says it takes great photos. Let's go over here. We almost found what we needed, but the mouths need to face the other way. I think it took the edge off the heat that would have built up, and it was we were at 97% power after about 45 minutes. We were probably in there. Switching drivers. We're gonna switch every 100 miles until we get there. And look at this. Look at this. This is one way to recycle a blade of a wind turbine. We're in Sergeant Bluff. This is where the Ragbri ride started. We did it. Yeah, that's good. Yeah, we stayed right down that road over there, John. This is so funny.
We missed the sign, but welcome to South Dakota.
So we are in Mitchell, South Dakota, and after 2 nights at Cracker Barrels, we thought it would be nice to go to a campground. We could do some laundry. So we stayed here on our way east last summer, and it's called Dakota Campground. It's only like $34 for water and electric, and it's a nice campground, fully treed. So if it's warm in the summer, this is a great place to come. Nice people too. So I wanted to share with you the story of how we sold the van. When we came back to the U.S. from our trip in Canada, we stopped again at my girlfriend's place in Vermont, and it just so happened that she went to high school with someone who was hiking the Long Trail, and she lives right by the Green Mountains. And the weather had been pretty bad. It had been super wet. She called and said, "Can I stay at your place for a night because the trail is mucky and it's awful?" And so she came down and found out the van was for sale. And I wasn't pushing it at all, but she said she wanted it. And apparently she had read some book called, I think it was Diet Zero or something like that. And she said she and her husband had been discussing something like traveling in a van like we had been doing. And she said she wanted it. And that's how we sold the van. Now we still needed to get our bicycles down to George, and she wasn't ready to pick up the van because a lot of paperwork had to be done, and she had to finish her hiking on the Long Trail. So we drove the van then down to George's place where we dropped off the bicycles, went over some more details about the van build, and then left the van there. 2 weeks later, I think she picked it up. But in the meantime, John and I flew home from Newark. George was very kind to drop us off in Newark, and we flew home for the rest of the summer until we got word that, we thought it was safe to get back to the East Coast and pick up our van. So that's how we sold the van, and we're really glad it went to someone we knew through a friend because we didn't have to worry about anything. It was super simple. And it was a relief to know that the van was sold. I think you can see this, but this truck the van has critter lights. Light back here and a light up there to keep critters from getting into your stuff. I think this is the widest aisle George has ever made. The two of us can easily fit in the same aisle. Even with the step down, you can get into the bottom refrigerator part. And that's sweet. John's trying to figure out all the lights. And he's got his Badlands shirt on because...
We're going to Badlands.
No, we're not going to Badlands. We're going to Wall Drug.
Close enough.
And Ann and Ed are going to meet us there as we scoot across. It's 5 o'clock. So what else are we going to try to do this morning?
Fill up with fuel, get the van weighed, stay out of trouble.
Yes, we're gonna go to a cat scale. 5:35, and we are heading to a cat scale. The one down the mile. Down at the next off ramp, John.
Yeah, the one. We're gonna backtrack a mile.
Yeah. This gas station has it all: E15, E30, unleaded, non-ethanol unleaded, and non-ethanol premium. The cat scale's right there. Those are some sticky bugs. So I asked the lady how much the RV hookup is, and she said it's just under $50. That includes sewer, electric, and a shower. It's a little pricey, but very convenient. And wow, that bathroom in there, it's as clean and nice as a United Red Carpet Club. It was amazing. Did you go inside?
No.
Wow, it was clean. Okay, let's get on to, where are we going? Wall.
Headlights on the highway. If you only knew, being back here always makes me think of you. When the world is sleeping, do you think of me? With the road ahead's coming back again, coming back to me. I remember the long drives, the late nights in your car. I remember it all.
Camera out there, dude. I love it. Super easy. Up and down. I haven't made my curtains yet.
Yeah.
Obviously. And then, I mean, just the little things. Like, here's the TV.
Yeah.
It just pops out like that.
Oh, nice.
Isn't that cool?
Yes.
It is, and it's perfect size for us. We were going to just use an iPad,
Yeah.
but this is much better. This
Yeah,
is smart
pops
TV.
out,
Yeah.
tucks away,
And it doesn't, you
Yeah.
know, our other van, it stuck out a little
Yeah,
bit,
yeah,
which
yeah.
is such a pain.
Yeah.
because you're always going to catch on.
Yeah, he's
Yeah.
the type of guy that's not going to let that happen.
No. And
Yeah.
here's the backlights.
Yeah.
It's got a dimmer switch on it. We're both finding that we like to keep our clothing in the side pockets.
Okay.
I forgot what these are the outside lights. I can turn it on right there. And now it's not going to be as powerful as like a normal one,
Right.
but it runs off of DC.
Right.
So we can just leave it on. You put your hand up there, you can see, you can feel. This
Now,
is,
does it, and it's, the compressor's on the roof?
yes, and you can't see it from the
Yeah.
street.
Yeah.
It's because it's lower
It's
profile.
such a low
And yeah,
profile.
between this and then your fans.
This was the other one.
Yeah.
So quiet. And then touch, did I turn that off? Oh yeah, it runs from that. Oh, and then a super cool Aqua Hot system. Cup holder back here, phone charger that's built in, and the USB, so you can plug in whatever you want. It's a USB A and a C, so either one you want.
Yeah.
And then storage, all along here. It's super deep.
Oh, that's right.
yeah,
that's right. I remember that.
Yep.
So I
Yeah.
put, coconut fiber in there.
Yeah.
Works well, and then vinegar, the distilled vinegar. Adios.
Thank you so much.
See ya.
Safe travels.
Windows down, empty streets. You were all I used to know. You and I, forever ago. And you used to drive me
Welcome to
home.
Wyoming.
Now I drive alone. You and I, forever ago.
Back in the forest. Oh, I miss this. Outer
This
River.
town's so quiet this time of year, with the road ahead's coming back again, coming back to me.
Coming into Sheridan, Wyoming. We're gonna stop for fuel.
Long drives, the late nights in your car. I remember it all. Windows down, empty streets. You were all I
Welcome
used
to
to
Montana.
know. You and I.
Tiny sign.
Forever ago, and you used to drive me home. Now I drive alone. You and I, forever ago.
We're just 10 miles now from a rest area, which is what we're doing tonight. We're in Montana, and they allow overnight parking. Glad to be there, and tomorrow won't be quite as bad as the last 3 days. We have 450 miles to go. See you tomorrow. 5:28 on our last day of driving. We have about 450 miles to go. We're trying to figure out what we're going to have for breakfast this morning, and we are back in Wheatland. Well, the place that we went, the bakery that we just kind of stumbled upon, and it's just a mile away. Ah, yummy, yummy. We've been here before. Here she blows. Yes. Some flour. You got it. Coal trains. River runs through this restaurant. Welcome to Idaho. Welcome to Washington. Now for the rest of the story and the reason we had to leave New Jersey in such a rush. My brother Dave, whom you may have seen in earlier videos, and I will link to below, died July 12 following open heart surgery. The family is gathering here in Spokane to celebrate his life and the love that he shared with all who knew him. Rather than sending condolences, which I know you all would do, please share with me your favorite song. The name of my channel comes from a beautiful poem by Darlene Carroll Stevens of Spokane, Washington. It's called A Bridge Across Time, and one of my favorite lines is, "I'll live my life, and when it's done, I'll live again in those to come. For I'm a bridge from she to me, from those that were to those to be."